Ah. Used to express surprise, delight, etc. The audience oohed and awed at the puppy. Aardvark. Squat and heavy with a long, sticky tongue and a long head ending in a big, pig-like snout, it is a giant, burrowing, nocturnal South African mammal that consumes ants and termites. The aardvark began to dig at the ant mound looking for its next meal. Aardwolf. A nocturnal carnivore from South Africa that feeds primarily on termites and bug larvae. Aardwolves belong to the same family as hyenas. The aardwolf slurped up the insect larvae. Arg. Used to convey disgust, nauseousness, or any other vehemently adverse emotion. Arg, I want to be done with this. Abacus. A framework containing breads or balls that may be moved along wires or into holes to complete or shape the top of a column's capital. Math is so much easier with my abacus. Abaft. At or toward the stern or rear of the ship. The wind was abaft which made the ship glide faster towards our destination. Abalone. Any of a family of edible gastropod sea mollusks with an oval, somewhat spiral shell perforated near the edge and lined with mother-of-pearl. Abalones can be found in the cold waters of New Zealand. Abandoned. Having been left behind and deserted. An abandoned cat was found on the side of the road. Abase. To humble or humiliate. He abased himself before the king. Abate. To lessen in amount, or degree. The storm suddenly abated. Abattis. A tree barricade with branches pointing in the direction of the adversary, now frequently augmented with barbed wire. We built the abattis to defend our position. Abattoir. A slaughterhouse. The animals were brought to the abattoir for processing. Abaxial. Away from or facing away from the axis. These leaves have a dubious gray film covering their abaxial surface. Abavillian. Designating ore of a lower Paleolithic culture characterized by stone hand axes. Numerous archaeological discoveries of crudely fashioned obsidian tools by prehistoric man point to early human settlements in Armenia that date to the Old Stone Age and earlier. Abbey. An abbey is a church with additional structures connected to it where nuns or monks now or once did live. From the train's windows, we caught a view of the abandoned abbey. Abbot. A man who is head of an abbey. Charles became the monastery's abbot after spending 40 years in a cave at the base of Mount Sinai. Abbreviate. To make a word or phrase shorter. The business of artists and repertory, commonly abbreviated to A&R. Abcoulomb. The basic unit of electric charge in the CGS system, equal to 10 coulombs. The abcoulomb is the amount of charge that flows in 1 second at 1 ampere of current. Abdicate. To give up formally. In favor of the heir apparent, he consented to abdicate and retire. Abdomen. The region of the body between the thorax and pelvis is known as the abdomen, or simply the belly. The nurse tapped the patient's abdomen. Abdominal. A vore relating to the abdomen. The abdominal cavity is inflated with carbon dioxide gas through this incision. Abducent. Drawing apart, separating. A 12-year-old girl was seen with recent indications of left abducent palsy, elevated intracranial pressure, and a 2-month headache history. Abduct. To steal something wrongfully, forcibly, or fraudulently. The police believe the individual has been abducted. Abeam. At a right angle to the length or keel of a ship. A ship in a storm gets struck abeam and rolls dangerously, increasing the chance of capsizing. Abecedarian. A beginner or someone learning the alphabet. In comparison to the abecedarian curriculum, it's possible that they offered too little, too late. Abed. In bed. She lied abed in the dark room. Abelia. Any of the many Abelia species, which are attractive shrubs with little tubular white, pink, or purple blooms that are native to Asia and Mexico. With a variety of flora, such as asparagus fern and Abelia. Abenaki. A member of an Algonquian people living chiefly in Maine and Quebec. When they were 3 months old, their Abenaki Indian father won the lottery. Aberdeen. Also called Aberdeenshire, a historic county in East Scotland. Aberdeen is a city on the North Sea in northern Scotland. Aberrant. Abandoning what is good and true. If you have milk allergy, milk is causing an aberrant immunological reaction in your body. Abet. To endorse, support, and promote, encourage and assist. Make an effort not to encourage, abet, or facilitate dishonesty. Abeyance. A state of ambiguous ownership, such as that of still vested estate interest. This regulation fell into abeyance after the 14th century. Abhor. To look upon with fear or loathing, detest. I abhor this kind of offensive conduct. Abhorrence. A disgusted or detest sentiment. His abhorrence of war was almost an obsession. Abhorrent. Something abhorred, something repugnant. We think that the majority of people would find this content abhorrent. Abide. 1 to patiently await. 2 to stay put at a location. 3 tolerate, put up with, another word for endure. I'm not required to abide the regulations. Abiding. Waiting for a very long period. His whole life, private, was an abiding lesson in the paramount importance of character. Ability. Possessing the capacity, power, expertise, or talent to accomplish a given task. It seemed very doubtful whether he would accomplish his desire. Abiogenesis. The idea that life arose from non-life more than 3.5 billion years ago on Earth. Peter was abiogenesis. Abiogenist. Someone who believes in the idea of abiogenesis. Peter was abiogenist. Abiotic. Physical rather than biological, not derived from living organisms. It is also of a size and composition that is ideally suited to be formed by abiotic peptide synthesis. Abject. Of the lowest degree, miserable, wretched, without pride or dignity. The poor surroundings caused abject misery. Objection. An abject state or condition. I simply cannot put up with your objection to his patronizing tone. Abjure. Firmly denounce a belief, cause, or claim. He refuses to abjure his faith. Ablactation. Removing a child from a mother's breast or young animals from their mother. She began ablactation of her child. Ablate. To remove surgically. Therapeutic intervention to ablate existing cancer cells. Of surgical treatment involving ablation. These include esophageal stents, either rigid plastic or self-expanding metallic stents, and local tumor ablative techniques such as laser therapy. Ablaze. Burning fiercely. Their clothes were ablaze. Able. Possessing the ability, capacity, resources, or chance to perform something. He could read Greek when he was 8 years old.